Hi, I'm Lindsay Waltower. I love life and exciting challenges. I help people build their wealth, protect their assets, but more importantly, build a legacy for them and their family. And I can do the very same thing for you. Your Wealth Today with Lindsay Waltower. Today's program is being sponsored by AEN Holdings, Inc., who happens to be the guest on our program. Sheila Benjamin is CEO and founder of AEN Holdings, Inc., a credit management and credit repair company. Welcome to the broadcast, Ms. Benjamin. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, we're so happy to be here, Lindsay, to talk to your audience, to honestly give them some answers to their credit matters.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, Ms. Benjamin is a certified debt arbitrator. She has 20 plus years of experience working with credit management and in the industry, and how tonight we're going to learn how she can help you if you have credit challenges, and give you opportunities to reach out to her at the end of the show to discover how you can improve your credit score. So what makes AEN Holdings, Inc. different from so many credit repair companies out there?
Well, one thing that makes us different is that we want to actually educate our clients.
Okay.
We found that in the credit repair industry, when we were doing our research, we found that the nationwide nonprofit, that's the largest in the credit repair industry,
Yep.
They had a 75% dropout rate. Very high number.
75%.
75% dropout rate.
Okay.
So, no education going on there. We also did research on the for-profits, and we also found why the industry has such a history of being known for scamming people, known for not delivering the type of services that they've signed up for.
Okay.
Is because we found some of the for-profits, they're only a referring service.
Okay.
I mean, so you could see the confusion that would bring.
Absolutely.
You sign up for one thing, you think you're going to receive that, you think you're going to receive it from the person you signed up with, and they're referring you to somebody else. So that would leave a little confusing. And we also, just drilled down on some more numbers to find that some people in the industry, they only have one strategy. They want to use validation of the debt, and I mean, that is a good strategy.
Sure.
But I mean, it only speaks to errors on your report. It doesn't help if that debt is truly yours. So AEN Holdings, Inc., first of all, we serve to treat our clients with dignity and respect.
Absolutely.
And we also want to educate them, because when you think about credit repair, it's a long process. It can be overwhelming. However, it's a process that you need to go through, because you have to make the decision what to do about the old debt. Because your old debt impacts on your present, it impacts on your future.
Absolutely.
So you have to make a decision what to do with it.
Yes.
And the sooner you make that decision, how to handle that old debt, the sooner you can move on in your credit life.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you. That's a pretty comprehensive process that you have. Your research shows that needs to take place.
Yes. So our research shows that the most important person in the story is left out. The most important person is the consumer.
Yeah.
And they're left out. They're not being educated. So therefore, they're walking away frustrated. They're walking away feeling ripped off.
Right.
Feeling like, oh, these people did not help me. I'm trying to help myself here. And they just, like,
Wow.
well, forget it. I don't want to have credit. I don't want anything to do with that.
Right.
And that's not a really good decision, since we live in a global economy.
Absolutely.
You should have access to some, even if it's nothing more than $500 type credit line.
Mm-hmm.
And we absolutely want to show the consumer
Sure.
how to go forward in their credit life.
Absolutely. So this is great. You mentioned 75% of nonprofits, or 75% of the clients who participate in these credit repair programs, they don't work? They don't finish the program?
They don't finish the program.
Wow, 75%.
So that means that the nonprofit has a 25% completion rate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not good.
So what do you recommend?
It's just not good.
How do you, if a person enters a credit repair program and they don't complete it, how can they come to you and get a different result?
Well, at AEN Holdings Inc., we work with you from where you are.
Okay.
Because you're our focus. You're our our slogan, Lindsay, is let us help you with your debt strategy. Mm-hmm. We're strictly consumer driven.
Wow.
We're strictly consumer driven. And that's why we serve to educate. Mm-hmm. And we can tell you things that our competitors, frankly, they just will not tell you. They just will not tell you. They don't want you to know this information. And we don't make it like mysterious. It's not a big secret. If you see those ads that say we can repair your credit in 36 hours, don't believe it, don't fall for it. That's a scam. Because first of all, it's certain processes in place.
Sure.
Okay, it's certain reporting that has to be done. And until those things take place, your credit score does not go up.
Okay.
And since it's a process, it might take a little while, and I'm sure it's going to take longer than 36 hours or 5 days or, 30 days or whatever they're claiming.
Absolutely. So, Ms. Benjamin, what are some of the tools that you use to get clients? Now, okay, we understand that A&E Holdings Inc. is their primary purpose is to serve the consumer and not the nonprofit or the financial institution. So that's clear. The second question becomes, what tools and what strategies will she use to help a person who has credit challenges or dealing with collectors? What are those tools?
Okay, currently we have our webinar, Tame Your Debt Collector.
Okay, can you repeat that?
Tame Your Debt Collector.
Okay.
This webinar is specifically geared towards people who have debt collectors calling them and they want them to stop. And Lindsay, what we did was we used the power of the internet.
Sure.
We used that as our office. We have an online meeting room.
Okay.
Where they can engage with us via chat in our meeting room and on our webcam.
Great.
So, and by using the internet to host our webinars, we're able to offer a very good price. A very good price to the consumer. So therefore people can, participate.
Absolutely.
They can't afford not to. Okay. We make it where they can't afford not to.
Absolutely.
We cut out some of the overhead where, you've heard about people saying, oh, well, I paid $3,000 and nothing happened.
Wait, $3,000 for a credit repair program?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, that's common.
Typical in the
it could
industry?
be typical, yes. I've looked up some prices personally, and I've seen where one guy wanted to charge you $6,000.
Wow.
To repair your credit. I mean, it's no standardized pricing, but we wanted to make sure our pricing was affordable for the average person because we want them to get help. We want them to be educated. We want them to be an empowered consumer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the goal of Your Wealth Today. It's to bring on experts like Ms. Benjamin who will empower the audience, giving you the tools that you need and the resources at a time in your life where you really need it. Are you Say, for example, we have someone in the audience who's facing a foreclosure. You know, in today's world, that's pretty common, and or bankruptcy. So they have a bankruptcy now, and the creditors are calling them. You know, how can A&E Holdings help a person in that situation?
Okay. Well, if they're filed for bankruptcy, no creditor should be calling. They should have. They should notify the creditors that they have filed for bankruptcy and give them that information, and that should take care of that.
What about foreclosure?
I'm not a foreclosure specialist.
Okay.
I would have to refer them out.
Okay.
But if your house is being foreclosed on, I would say, you know, make sure you talk to your lender. Make sure you explain, you know, what's going on with them. And there are programs out there that can help with your foreclosure.
So in your estimation, what's a typical client for you? What would that person or family look like?
A typical client, they could be feeling overwhelmed, they could be missing payments, they could be, you know, just throwing the bills in the drawer and say, oh, I'll deal with that later, and just feel like they're just drowning, you know, and they just want some relief. They want some relief. They need to know how to stretch this dollar to make it go further. They want the most value for their dollar. And they want to be educated. They want to know, how do I do this? How do we make this happen? Yeah. You know. Yeah. So that would be my typical client.
Okay. Do you have income restrictions on who you work with?
You know, Lindsay, good question. No income restrictions, no income restrictions on debt. You know, a lot of times you hear in a commercial, if you have $10,000 or more, you know, call us. Well, at A&E Holdings, Inc., we have no such limits. We don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's great.
Because we're education-based. We want to teach you how to protect yourself now and go forward in your future, and how to make the right decision about your old debt.
Oh, that's great. So no income restrictions, that's great.
Nope.
So if you have $100 or $100,000, but you're still facing these credit management, credit repair challenges, A&E Holdings Inc. can be of value to that situation.
Yes, because we want to help you with your debt strategy. It's really, literally all about strategy. Because, you know, big corporations have strategy to take your money. We have strategies to help you to keep it.
Now, when I first met Miss Benjamin, the interview was awesome because she gave me some insider information around some of the best practices in the credit repair industry. And one of them that really piqued my interest was the Miranda Act. Miss Benjamin, what is the mini Miranda?
Mini Miranda is a law that's associated with debt collectors.
Okay.
It's somewhat like the Miranda law. Anything you say can and will be used against you. But mini Miranda law states anything attained in connection with the debt can be used against you.
Can you repeat that?
Anything, any information obtained in connection of the debt can be used against you.
Wow.
So when you're speaking with debt collectors, you're actually under mini Miranda law, and federal law states that the debt collector does not have to inform you at that time that you're under mini Miranda law. It should only be written. So when you receive correspondence, you usually see that phrase at the bottom of the letter, and that's what that is. That's your Miranda warning.
Okay. So are they legally, if you're on the phone with a credit collector, are they legally obligated to let you know, or is it just a written rule?
It's just written.
Okay.
There's no obligation on the debt collector's part to tell you that you are under mini Miranda. So I would suggest when you're speaking with the debt collector to just verify who you are. Yes, my name is Sheila Benjamin. Yes, I live at P.O. Box 2444, Bella Kenwood, PA. And stop. stop. You know, if they said, well, you had an account with Sears? Well, I don't know if I had an account with Sears. Just stop, because remember, you're under
So you're not under, but you're under no obligation either to say anything.
You're not, especially when it's going to be used against you. Because if we so happen to end up in court over the Sears debt,
okay,
and you know, those notes that the collector takes, they're admissible in court. Mm-hmm. So that the first thing that he would say is, well, when I talked to her, when I called, she said this debt was hers. So just stop. Don't admit to anything, pretty much. Except for, you know, you have to verify who you are. Even if the police were to stop you, you should be able to verify who you are. But that's it, because anything obtained in connection with the debt will be used against you.
Wow, that is powerful information to know.
Yeah.
That nugget alone is going to help a tremendous amount of people. So what can customers or our audience expect when they attend your Tame Your Debt Collector webinars? What can they expect?
Well, Lindsay, Tame Your Debt Collector webinar, we can teach them first of all, how to build a buffer between themselves and the debt collector.
Okay.
We will also drill down on common collection situations. Mm-hmm. And that probably sounds strange, but you know, most people think when debt collectors are calling, it's because you owe money. But sometimes circumstances are just a little different. Okay. They're not as what they appear. Mm-hmm. The creditor could have made a mistake. It could have been a dispute. Maybe the debt is out of statute. So we'll talk about those type of things. Sure. So therefore, you'll learn how to make a decision as what you really should do about your old debt. Mm-hmm. Also so someone sent us a collection letter, which I scanned into the presentation.
Oh, great.
And we'll actually go through the letter so you know, we'll see what's in the letter and what's not in the letter. So the first thing we'll talk about is reading your mail. We'll also talk about the profile of the debt collector.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. So you actually have live samples of credit repair, credit collection letters that you walk the attendees through.
Yes.
And you go by each section of those letters and how to address them in the proper way.
Yes.
That is great.
Yes.
That is great.
And for them, and how they would sign up for Tame Your Debt Collector, mm-hmm. they can go to putyourcreditbackontrack.com. It's a blue registration button towards the top right hand of the screen, mm-hmm. or it's right next to our commercial. It's a little image that says Join Our Credit Webinar. And they can click on that and it will take them to the registration page. Okay. They can fill in the information that's required there. Absolutely. They would pay through Google Checkout and receive a receipt, and that receipt would contain a link to our online meeting room. Okay. And it's browser based, nothing to download. And we would just meet online so we can talk about how to tame your debt collector. And it's a very like I said, we want to be value priced, and it's only $40.
Okay. And typically, how long is the webinar?
The webinar is 1 hour live. Okay. And also, they can pick their day and time. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturdays. Mm-hmm. And the webinar times run between 5 to 6, 7 to 8. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Mm-hmm. And on Saturday, it runs between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So you're making it really convenient for people to get access to this valuable information.
Yes, our goal is to empower our clients as soon as they come to our website. As soon as they sign up for our service, we want to empower them.
And can you refresh our memory? What's a typical client? Who would want to sign up for the webinar?
For this particular webinar, mm-hmm. anyone who had debt collectors calling them and mm-hmm. they feel like they're being harassed, they want to know what they need to do, And also, Lindsay, people have told us our program can be used as prevention.
Oh, really?
So if you are feeling overwhelmed, you're missing payments, skipping payments, late payments, you might want to tune into the webinar because your next step possibly is going to be interacting with the third-party debt collector.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lindsay Walltower. I love life and exciting challenges. I'm a wealth manager. I help people build their wealth, protect their assets, but more importantly, build a legacy for them and their family. And I can do the very same thing for you. I'm going to help you on the journey to financial freedom. Your Wealth Today with Lindsay Walltower. You cover the any items on a creditor may be trying to collect on that's beyond like a certain time period?
Yes, we do. We talk about statute of limitation also.
Mm-hmm. And what is that now?
That's something that you would really have to get out of the webinar.
Okay.
You really would, because it's too complicated really to explain in just a couple of seconds, and I don't want to put information out that people could, misunderstand.
Absolutely.
And they'll say, oh, well, Ms. Benjamin said you could do this. So that really needs to be explained in a little bit more detail.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that. And do you want to share any more, outside of the webinar, any insider secrets that outside of the Miranda, is there any information that you think the audience can use, could take away today that would help prepare them for your webinar when they go? Is there something they should read, or is there any research, any papers they should collect, any documentation they should start to organize?
To join the webinar, no. They would just go to putyourcreditbackontrack.com and look for the registration button. It is a 1-hour live webinar. And we do have Q&A, so they do get to answer.
Great.
I get to, they get their specific questions answered. So it's nothing, and you know what? They do need a pencil and a piece of paper.
That would be helpful.
They really need a pencil and a piece of paper.
Because you're going to take some really good notes that are going to help you manage your credit and get that credit back on track, because it all affects your wealth. And the goal of this program is to help you manage your wealth. But in order to do that, you have to inherently have some things in place.
Yes.
And one of those things is a good credit rating, the credit that you do have. This webinar will be able to help you manage that credit effectively. And so moving forward, if you do have life changes such as a loss of job, a health issue, something like that, all those factors can affect your ability to repay your debt. This webinar can be helpful in helping you to do the preventive piece.
Yes, definitely.
Because even if your credit is okay or borderline, by attending this webinar, you'll have the information in the event something
does happen, yes.
And more importantly, you may have someone in your family, friends, colleagues who could utilize this webinar. So it's another resource that you have at your disposal.
That's true. A lot of people, Lindsay, we also decided to work online too. Well, in regards to the price, so we can keep the prices affordable for everyone.
Absolutely.
But some people just don't want to walk into a building or go out into like this big public credit seminar thing. So with our webinar, they can click on the link. Our system will assign them a number. They don't have to type in their name.
Wow.
And they can just be that number. There's no call-in number either because we use the built-in voice over internet.
Okay.
So they just turn on their speakers, have their pencil, have their paper, and just be guided through this process. And when we get to Q&A, they can chat their questions.
That's a different way. Most programs don't work that way. It's like you mentioned. It's a bunch of people. It's really impersonal.
Yes.
Sometimes it could be a little, not so friendly environment, and people are hurting.
Yes,
so you want to be able to help them.
That's what I'm thinking too, that with some of our competitors out there, they're not consumer friendly. They don't want you to know certain things. Mm-hmm. And I don't see the problem. I mean, to me, the more you know, that saying, the more you know,
absolutely,
the better you are.
Mm-hmm. This is great. I think today's webinar, the way they're set up, are not the way that you're going to experience when you attend Ms. Benjamin's webinar. You'll not just, you won't be a number, but you'll have an actual caring facilitator who has experience helping you navigate this credit management, credit repair landscape, who's very capable, who's passionate about what she does. Yes. As you can see, she's very passionate about what she does. And tell the audience how they can get in contact with you.
They can visit our website at putyourcreditbackontrack.com, mm-hmm. or they can reach us at 855-771-2069.
And you can also go to yourwealthtoday.tv, and we will list Miss Benjamin's company, how to sign up for the webinar there as well. And if you would like to get in contact with her, we will definitely have that information on the website as well. You want to close up with any closing remarks for the audience to take away?
You know what? For your audience, Lindsay, if they like us on Facebook, and it's AEN Holdings Inc., and if they like us on Facebook, they'll receive a free ebook. It's chock full of tips, just full of articles, things that you really should know that you can use today to make a difference.
We've learned some incredible information around wealth, credit, and credit repair. A&E Holdings Inc. is a company that has passion about helping those who have credit challenges. You may be receiving calls from creditors. Her webinar, Tame Your Debt Collector, is a phenomenal opportunity to be equipped to deal with those situations and to get your financial and credit history on track. Go to our website, yourwealthtoday.tv, and learn more. View this program again. If you missed any of the content, you'll find that it's going to be very informative, and you're going to learn how to not only answer any questions a debt collector may be calling you about, but also to put preventive measures in place so that you will not be affected in the future. So go to our website, and we thank you. $1-2069.